Hey, what's up everyone? So I'm here at Acacia Cemetery in Modesto. I'm going to be doing some Spiritus ghost box sessions, and I'm running the AZ screen recorder. As you can see, the icon right there on my tablet, and this is capturing basically the screen of the tablet, and it also captures the audio and the microphone. So I'm going to be using it, and all I brought with me is my tablet, my Galaxy S2 tablet. I'm going to be running Spiritus and using this AZ screen recorder to record everything. But before I do any sessions, I wanted to, let me see here, I wanted to go over the Spiritus ghost box a little bit, do a little bit of a tutorial video, and show some of the new things about it since the update. So I'm going to go ahead and start the Spiritus ghost box. I can kind of move the screen around. I'm in my car right now, parked at the cemetery, and yeah, this is a pretty known haunted spot in Modesto. We've been here before. A lot of local paranormal investigators and stuff come out here to do some investigating and capture some EVPs and whatnot. So I'm going to be doing that, and that'll be on my next video. This one is just going to be going over the Spiritus box. Okay, so for the new, I guess I should go over the update first. So for the update, we doubled the size of the sound banks, so it's literally twice as big, twice as many sounds, and we kind of rearranged them a little bit. Channel 1 and 2 used to be male voices on 1, female voices on 2, but we've combined those together into channel 1. So now channel 1 is male and female voices, and channel 2 is an all new sound bank, which is whispers, male and female whispers in reverse. It's the whisper channel. You can hear it. So that's that. And we swapped out the crusher effect. The crusher effect was this kind of lo-fi distortion effect that we put in there. It was kind of more of just a temporary effect. It didn't really go with the rest of the sounds of the ghost box, but we just threw it in there with the intentions of probably replacing it. And that's what we did. We added this filter effect, which is like a bandpass filter, and I think it sounds really cool. Turn that on. It kind of creates this, like, I don't know how to describe it. I think it sounds really cool when you add other effects to it too. So that's that. And so 3 is kind of like I call it the broadcast channel. It's made up of TV and radio broadcast. That's where the audio comes from, and that's gotten doubled. And then 4 is the music channel, where the audio comes from music tracks. So you hear it's like music sounding. So that's that. Intensity scan is pretty much the same, but the overall scan rate has been slowed down. So even with intensity scan, it'll still get fast like it did before, but it'll also get a lot slower, and I think it just works a lot better now. And turn on intensity scan. Going pretty quick. But it will get a lot slower too. And then, as you know, with the intensity scan, it also affects the visual ITC feature as well. It changes. It's constantly changing the size, shape, and color of the visuals. Whereas if you don't have it on, it's just a regular. It's like this. The color doesn't change, and the speed and size doesn't change. So that's what the intensity scan does. And the intensity scan, some people don't really know what it does, but it goes through the scan rate. So, for instance, say the scan rate is 1 through 10, it'll pick say 3, and so it'll slowly, gradually move to the scan rate to 3, and once it gets to 3, it'll pick another scan rate, say 10. So now it'll gradually go from 3 all the way to 10, and changing as it goes. And once it hits 10, it'll pick another scan rate, say this time 2. So now it'll move all the way back down to 2. And it constantly does that. And it's the same type of thing with the effects too. The intensity of the effects, it'll get really heavy, and then it could get really light, and anywhere in between. It'll constantly be switching between the intensity of the effect. And the visuals, it changes those up as well. People ask me, what's your favorite settings? There's really no right or wrong answer to that. It's kind of what you want to do. Me personally, when I use it, I'm constantly changing the channels and effects on it. I like to kind of be like a hands-on operator, constantly tuning in different channels and effects. That's just the way I like to do it. Some people like to just turn it on, sit back, and let it do its thing. And that's fine too. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do it. But I can tell you that if you're not running this through a portal device or something that adds some kind of effect to it, then I highly recommend using the effects. That's why I put them in there. If you're running just straight audio, I think you're limiting yourself. The effects are there to enhance the communication and make it easier for spirits to manipulate the audio. So if you're really not running any effects, I would recommend running some effects. So for instance, say I turn on 2 and 3, and this is just the straight audio. I would recommend running something, even if it's just reverb. It's gonna help out. I like to switch it up. I go between reverb, echo, phaser. I'll add a bunch of stuff. And I'll be constantly, like, even turning intensity scan on and off too. Alright. So I'm not going to do too much of that right now, because I'm going to be getting out of the car and actually doing a bunch of stuff soon. And then light and dark ambience. You can use these during your sessions if you like. Personally, I usually use it before a session, or maybe even after a session. But usually before I start, while I'm kind of introducing myself to the spirits and just kind of setting the mood. That's what it's mainly for. You can run it during your sessions as well, especially if you're running it through like a portal or something where you're adding a lot of reverb and noise reduction. But yeah, and then the visual, go into here. So I'm gonna turn the intensity scan on for this. And going into the visual ITC part, is this showing up on here? I don't know. There's a little, got it. There's a little thing on there from the recorder. I don't know if it's gonna show up in the video, but. So this is the visual part, and as you can see with the intensity scan on, it is going to be changing quite a bit. Sometimes when I record this with the camera, you're going to get a lot of reflections off your screen. So the AZ video recorder screen capture thing helps with this. You should be able to capture some clean audio. And you don't have to have this little camera on right now if you don't want to. I just have it going because I'm making this video. It's kind of a cool feature, but so I'll move this over. Okay, so I think that's about it. It's pretty self-explanatory and pretty easy to use. I wanted to make it super user-friendly. A lot of ghost boxes have all these different dials and things to tweak on it, which is cool, but I wanted to make this one super user-friendly, where it's really just turn on some channels that you want, turn on some effects that you want, and you got your intensity scan that you can turn on and off depending on the way you like to run it. Other than that, and then you can go into the visual and possibly capture visual and audio evidence at the same time. That's kind of the point of it. But you don't have to. You could use it strictly as an audio ghost box or a visual ITC device. You don't have to use them both at the same time, but you know, it's kind of cool to do it that way. But anyway, I've talked enough. I'm going to go do some sessions around here. And if you want to watch that video, that's going to be a separate video. Spiritus Ghost Box at Acacia Cemetery. Check that out. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you like the app. I hope you like the update. And oh, I didn't even mention that. So another thing that I forgot to mention was that the update also fixed the memory issue that it was having, where it wasn't working on some iOS devices, and then after the update it wasn't working on some Android devices. So we figured out that it was actually causing too much of a memory issue for the devices, and it was causing it to crash when it was loading. So we came up with a new way to load up the sounds. It was the sound banks, really. We figured out a way to load up the sounds in a different way, and it works great. And now it works on most devices. Most of the people who wrote me with their iOS devices or Android devices that were crashing, they all wrote back and said it works great now. So hopefully that fixed the problem for everyone, but that was also the big fix for the update. So that's it. That's it, guys. I'm gonna go. I gotta do my thing. And yeah, check out the next video. Spiritus Ghost Box at Acacia Cemetery. I'm going to be walking around using it right now, and I want to thank everyone for purchasing this app, everyone in the ITC Collective. That's been a huge support for me. It's helped me out a lot in using the app and helping me test out the app and all that. So big shout out to everyone in the ITC Collective.